The communication line check. If your team keeps missing things lately, your first instinct is probably, I need to communicate better. I don't think that's it. I think the way you used to communicate actually worked for the business you had at the time. What changed isn't your delivery. It's the distance the message has to travel now before it lands. So today, this isn't about fixing your communication style. It's about noticing where the distance already broke something and seeing if it sounds like you. The proximity problem. Early on, you don't need a system for communication. You're in the room. Whatever you decide, the people who need to know are usually standing right there or one message away. Context travels for free at that size. Nobody has to document anything because nobody's far enough away to lose it. That's not a communication skill. That's just proximity doing the work for you. You know the telephone game? One person whispers a sentence, it passes hand to hand around the room, and by the last person, it's unrecognizable. Not because anyone lied, just because every handoff loses a little. When it's 3 people, the game barely matters. The message survives the trip. But when it's 15 people, it doesn't. Not because anyone got worse at whispering, because the line got longer and nobody built anything to protect the message across that many relays. That's what happens inside a growing business. Early on, there's no line. You say it once, directly, to whoever needs it. Then the company grows, and now there's a line. Every layer it passes through changes it a little, whether anyone means to do it or not. Nobody's whispering on purpose. The line is just longer than it used to be, and it keeps getting longer every time you add a person. This isn't a communication problem. It's not that you've gotten worse at explaining things. This is what naturally happens once decisions have to travel through people who aren't you. Follow-up text. A message that used to land the first time now needs a second pass, sometimes a third. Not because it was said badly, because it traveled farther before it landed. The silent drop. A decision gets made in one conversation and simply never reaches the person 3 relays down who actually needed it. Nobody dropped it on purpose. It just didn't survive the trip. The after-the-fact discovery. You find out about the misunderstanding only once it's already cost something. A missed deadline, a client hearing 2 different answers. By the time it surfaces, it's not a communication issue anymore. It's a cleanup. And underneath all 3 of these is the phantom memory. You start hearing yourself say, I thought I said that, more than you like. You did say it. It just never survived the trip. If one of those landed, that's not a coincidence. That's a mechanism showing up exactly where you'd expect it to. Here's the bigger thing underneath all 4 of these. None of them look serious in isolation. A little more follow-up here, one drop decision there. None of it feels urgent on any single day, which is exactly why it compounds. The distance doesn't announce itself. It just quietly gets more expensive to operate across week after week, until the business is spending real energy just keeping information moving that used to move for free. Here's the thing about everything I just described. That's not a hypothetical team. That's yours right now, at whatever size it's grown to. And the size is the point. You didn't do anything wrong by growing. You just outran the informal system that used to carry your voice for free. The real question isn't whether the line is getting longer. It already is, and it'll keep getting longer as you keep adding people. The question is whether you're willing to keep paying the follow-up tax, the silent drops, and the after-the-fact cleanups while it stays unnamed. Where exactly is your line breaking? Which message? Which relay? How far has it already traveled? That's not something I can tell you from here. That's what the workbook is for. The link will be in the description. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode.